Jacob Wilson sat at the kitchen table in his home in suburban Columbus, Ohio. There was a cup of cold coffee on the table, and next to him lay his old phone, the screen of which glowed with a photo. Him, Emily, and their newborn daughter Lily in a hospital room. Jacob looked at the photo, and memories of how it all began came flooding back to him. 5 years ago, Jacob was a 43-year-old engineer at a construction company. He was tall, with short dark hair, slightly touched with gray, and calm brown eyes. His life was measured: work, gym, rare gatherings with friends. He was not looking for love, but she found him herself. Emily Clark worked as a primary school teacher at a local school. They met at a charity run organized by her school. Jacob participated to support a colleague whose daughter was studying with Emily. After the race, he noticed a short woman with long brown hair handing out water to participants. She smiled at him, and he, without knowing why, approached. "You ran the fastest in your group," Emily said, handing him a bottle of water. "This is impressive." "Thanks," Jacob replied, wiping sweat from his forehead. "But I was just trying to keep up with the younger guys." She laughed, and her laughter seemed sincere to him. "My name is Emily," she said. "And you?" "Jacob. Jacob Wilson." "Well, Jacob, if you want to run again, come to the next race. We always welcome volunteers." He nodded, not expecting to return. But a week later, he was there again, helping set up tables. Emily noticed him and walked over. "I didn't think you'd come back," she said, adjusting her baseball cap. "I didn't think about it myself," Jacob admitted, "but it's somehow nice here." They started talking. Emily said that she is 36, she loves her job and dreams of a family. Jacob was cautious, but her openness was captivating. A month later, he invited her to dinner. "Are you sure you want to date the teacher?" Emily asked as they sat in an Italian restaurant. "We're not the richest people, you know." "Money isn't the point," Jacob replied. "I like you. That's more important." She smiled, and he felt a warmth he hadn't felt in years. Their relationship developed quickly. Emily was caring and had strong principles. She did not tolerate lies, condemned those who led chaotic lives, and always talked about the importance of family. Jacob respected her for that. 6 months later, they began to live together in his house. Emily decorated the living room with flowers and the kitchen with colorful towels. The house has become more comfortable. One evening, as they lay on the sofa, Emily turned to him. "Jacob, do you want children?" she asked quietly. He hesitated. At his age, the thought of having a child was scary. He had seen his friends raise teenagers and wasn't sure he was ready for diapers and sleepless nights. "Honestly," he said, "I don't know. It's a big responsibility. What if something goes wrong? If we break up, I don't want to be a single father at 50. Emily took his hand. "I understand," she said, "but I want to be a mother. This is my dream, and I promise, Jacob, we will always be together. We can handle it. Do you believe me?" He looked into her eyes. They were full of confidence. "I believe," he answered. "Then let's try," Emily said, "together." Jacob nodded, although he felt anxious inside. But he loved Emily and wanted to make her happy. A few months later, they learned that Emily could not get pregnant naturally. The doctor suggested IVF. The procedure was expensive, and Jacob spent most of his savings. They went to a clinic in Columbus, underwent tests, injections, and consultations. Emily was hopeful, but Jacob could see how nervous she was. "What if it doesn't work out?" she asked one day in the car on the way home. "It will work," Jacob said, squeezing her hand. We agreed, together. "Do you really want this?" she asked. "I know you're afraid." "I want you to be happy," he replied, "and I want to be with you. If this means becoming a father, I'm ready." She smiled, and he felt he had made the right choice. The first IVF attempt was successful. Emily found out she was pregnant in March. They stood in the bathroom, looking at the 2-line test. "Jacob," she whispered, "we did it." He hugged her, and they both cried with joy. "We'll be better parents," Emily said. "I promise we will never leave each other. Lily will grow in love." "Lily?" Jacob asked. Yes, she said. If it's a girl, I want to name her Lily. Do you like it? Very, he replied. The pregnancy went smoothly. Emily was glowing with happiness, and Jacob tried to be nearby. He went with her to ultrasounds, painted the nursery pastel pink, and assembled the crib. Sometimes he was overcome with doubts, but he drove them away when he saw Emily stroking her belly and humming lullabies. You will be the best dad, she said one day when they were choosing a stroller in the store. I hope so, Jacob replied. It's just, this is all new to me. I know, Emily said, but we are a team. We can handle it. You won't regret it. I believe you, he said. Lily was born in November 2021. The birth was difficult, but Emily managed. Jacob held her hand in the delivery room until the midwife handed him the tiny bundle. This is your daughter, said the midwife. Jacob looked at Lily. She had big blue eyes and a small nose. He felt something tighten in his chest. She's perfect, he whispered. Emily, tired but happy, smiled. We did it, Jacob, she said. We're a real family now. He nodded, unable to take his eyes off Lily. Yes, he said. Family. In the hospital room, they took that same photo. Jacob, Emily, and Lily. Emily held her daughter, and Jacob hugged them both. Then he believed that everything would be fine. The first year with Lily was hectic, but happy. Jacob was getting used to new responsibilities, changing diapers, getting up at night, learning how to make purees. Emily was a caring mother. She sang songs to Lily, read books to her, and decorated the house for her first Christmas. Jacob looked at them and thought that his fears were in vain. See, Emily said as Lily took her first steps. We are a great team. Yes, Jacob agreed. You were right. She kissed him, and he felt that everything was in its place. Now, sitting at the kitchen table, Jacob looked at the photo on his phone. It was already 2 years ago, but the memories of those days were so vivid. He put his phone down and got up to prepare dinner. Lily would wake up soon, and he wanted her to eat. No matter what happened next, he knew one thing. His daughter was his life, and he will do everything to make her happy. Jacob Wilson stood at the stove in his kitchen, stirring macaroni and cheese. It was early December 2022, and light snow was falling outside, covering the lawn in a thin white layer. In the living room, Lily, who had just turned 1, sat in her playpen playing with plastic blocks. Her blonde curls bounced as she rolled the dice and laughed. Jacob smiled, but his thoughts were elsewhere. Emily had been acting strange in recent weeks, and he couldn't understand why. Lily's first birthday was noisy and joyful. Emily hosted the party at their home in suburban Columbus. Her parents, several colleagues from school, and Jacob's friends from work came. Emily baked a single cake decorated with pink frosting. Lily smeared the cream all over her face, and everyone laughed. Jacob took dozens of photos, and Emily looked happy as she hugged her daughter and guests. But the very next day, something changed. Emily became silent. She talked to Jacob less, often sat staring at the phone, and got irritated over little things. When Lily cried at night, Emily sometimes didn't get up, leaving it to Jacob. He wasn't complaining, he loved his daughter and was willing to do whatever it took, but he was worried about Emily's behavior. She had always been active, full of ideas, but now she seemed distant. Jacob turned off the stove and looked at the clock. 7 o'clock in the evening. Emily should have been back an hour ago. She said she would be late for a teacher meeting after work, but usually gave a warning if she was late. He took the phone and texted her, "Are you coming soon? Lily is already hungry." The answer came 10 minutes later, soon, delayed. Jacob frowned, but decided not to press. Maybe she's just tired. He took Lily out of the playpen and put her in a children's chair. She slammed her hands on the table, demanding food. "Right now, baby," Jacob said, spooning pasta onto a plastic plate. "Mommy will be home soon, and we'll all have dinner together." Lily smiled, showing 4 teeth, and grabbed the spoon. Jacob helped her scoop up the food, although half of the pasta ended up on the floor. He laughed, wiping her chin with a napkin. When the front door opened, it was already 7:30. Emily came in, taking off her coat. Her brown hair was pulled back into a messy bun, and her face looked tired. She threw her bag on the couch and looked at Jacob and Lily. "Hi," she said, but her voice was unenthusiastic. "Hi," Jacob replied. "Everything is fine. You're late." Emily shrugged and went to the sink to pour some water. "It's just a long day," she said. The meeting dragged on, and then there was still work to do. "What's going on?" Jacob asked, trying to speak calmly. Emily turned around, holding the glass. "Ordinary. We discuss plans for the spring semester with colleagues. Nothing special." She walked over to the table and sat down next to Lily. The girl extended her hands to her, but Emily only stroked her head and took the phone. "Hey, Lily wants to play with you," Jacob said, noticing Emily looking at the screen. "You haven't seen her all day." Emily sighed and put her phone down. "I'm tired, Jacob," she said. "Give me 5 minutes." "Okay," he answered, but inside he felt a pang of irritation. "I just thought you might want to spend time with her." Emily took Lily in her arms, but her movements were mechanical. She put her daughter on her lap and began to rock her, but her gaze was somewhere far away. "Are you sure you're okay?" Jacob asked as he served himself and Emily some pasta. "You haven't been like that these last few days." "I'm fine," Emily answered sharply. "It's just a lot of work." "Don't start, please." "I'm not starting," Jacob said, putting the plates on the table. "I'm just worried. You hardly talk to me." Emily looked at him, irritation flashing in her eyes. "Maybe because I'm exhausted," she said. "I'm on my feet all day, and then there's Lily, the house, everything else. I need at least a little space." Jacob nodded, but Emily's words hurt him. He also worked full-time and then took care of Lily, cooking, cleaning. But he didn't want to argue. "Okay," he said. "If you need time, I understand. Just tell me if something is wrong." Emily didn't say anything, just put Lily back in the chair and started eating. Dinner passed in silence, broken only by Lily's mutterings and the clinking of spoons. The following weeks, the situation did not improve. Emily began to stay late after work more often. Sometimes she said that she was dating a friend from school, Lisa, who worked in the cafeteria. Jacob knew Lisa, a short woman with a loud laugh who always wore bright sweaters. He didn't mind, but it bothered him that Emily rarely said what they were talking about or what they were doing. One day in January 2023, Jacob returned home earlier than usual. His boss let his employees go because of the snow. Lily was with Emily's parents, who sometimes took her for the day. Jacob walked into the house and saw Emily sitting on the couch with her phone. She quickly put it away when she heard footsteps. "You're early," she said, getting up. "What's happened?" "Snow," Jacob answered, taking off his jacket. "We were released. Why are you at home? I thought you had a meeting." Emily hesitated. "It was canceled," she said. "I decided to return early." "I see," Jacob said, looking at her. "Do you want us to order pizza? Lily is at your parents' place. We can have an evening together." Emily shook her head. "I'm not hungry," she said, "and I need to answer a couple of emails for work." "Maybe later?" "Emily," Jacob said, sitting down next to her. "What's happening? You are almost never at home, and when you are here, it is as if you are not there. I'm trying to understand, but you don't explain anything." She crossed her arms and looked away. "I told you I'm busy," she replied. "I have a new program at school, plus Lisa asked me to help with some things. I can't be everywhere at once." "What's going on with Lisa?" Jacob asked. "You are with her all the time. I don't mind, but you don't even tell me what you do." Emily stood up and walked towards the kitchen. "Jesus, Jacob, is this an interrogation?" she said, raising her voice. "I'm just talking with my friend. Do you have to control everything?" "I don't control," he replied, trying to remain calm. "I just want to know what's going on in your life. We're a family." "Well, act like family, not like a detective," Emily snapped. "I need a shower. See you later." She went upstairs, slamming the bathroom door. Jacob remained sitting on the couch, feeling anxiety building inside him. He didn't want to fight, but something was wrong. Emily had never acted so coldly before. A few days later, it was Saturday. Jacob suggested having a family day, going to the park and taking Lily on the carousel. Emily agreed, but without enthusiasm. "Okay," she said in the morning while dressing Lily in overalls. "But let's not take long. I have a meeting with Lisa in the evening." "Lisa again?" Jacob asked, buttoning his jacket. "You're with her almost every day." Emily rolled her eyes. "She's my friend, Jacob," she said. "I can have friends, you know." "I don't mind friends," he replied, "but you hardly spend any time with us." "Lily misses you." "Me too." Emily looked at him, and her face softened for a second. "Okay," she said. "Today I am with you. Let's go to the park." At the park, Lily squealed with delight as she rode the little carousel. Jacob held her hand while Emily took pictures. For the first time in weeks, she seemed like her old self, smiling, laughing, even kissing Jacob on the cheek when he bought her coffee. "Maybe we should do this more often," Jacob said as they walked to the car. "Lily is happy, and you look pleased." Emily nodded, but her smile quickly disappeared. "Yes," she said. "That was nice. But I really need to meet Lisa tonight. She's having some problems, and I promised to help." "What problems?" Jacob asked. "Maybe I can help." Emily shook her head. "No, it's personal," she said. "Nothing serious, she just needs support." Jacob wanted to ask more, but decided to remain silent. He didn't want to ruin the day. That night, Emily returned home after midnight. Jacob lay awake, sitting in the living room with the TV off. He heard the door open and stood up. "Where have you been?" he asked as Emily entered. "You said you'd be back by 10. Emily took off her coat and looked at him with irritation. "I was with Lisa," she said. "We started talking." "What's wrong?" "You could have warned," Jacob said. "I was worried. You didn't answer messages." "My phone died," she answered. "Listen, I'm a grown woman. I don't have to account for every step." "This is not about reporting," Jacob said, raising his voice. "It's about respect. We're family, Emily. You can't just disappear." Emily dropped her bag on the floor and looked at him. "Maybe I need more freedom," she said. "I'm out of breath, Jacob." "You, Lily, home is too much. I need at least a little time for myself." "Freedom?" Jacob asked. "You're hardly ever with Lily." "I do everything. Feed her, put her to bed, take her to the doctor." "Where are you?" "I am working," Emily shouted, "and I have a life outside of this house." "You don't understand how hard it is for me." "Then explain," Jacob said. "I'm trying, but you don't say anything." Emily shook her head and walked towards the stairs. "I don't want to discuss this," she said. "I am going to sleep." Jacob watched her go upstairs. He felt something was falling apart, but he didn't know how to stop it. He lay down on the sofa, not wanting to go to the bedroom. Lily was sleeping in her room, and he decided that he would endure it for her sake. But deep down, he was afraid that Emily was slipping away from him. February 2023 was a cold day in suburban Columbus, Ohio. Snow lay on the lawns, and the roads glistened with ice. Jacob Wilson sat in his living room, looking at Lily's sleeping form in the playpen. She was just over a year old and was curled up, clutching a teddy bear. Jacob tried to focus on the TV, where some old movie was playing, but his thoughts returned to Emily. She had hardly been home in recent months, and their conversations had turned into short phrases or arguments. Today she left again, saying that she was meeting with Lisa, her friend from the school cafeteria. Jacob picked up his phone to check the time. It was 9 o'clock in the evening. He wrote to Emily, "Are you coming soon? Lily is already asleep." There was no answer. He sighed and leaned back on the sofa. In recent weeks, he had felt like he was losing her, but he didn't know how to fix it. She refused to talk, and he didn't want to push, afraid it would only make the situation worse. Suddenly, the phone vibrated. Jacob took it, expecting to see a message from Emily, but the number was unfamiliar. The message contained 3 photos and a short video. He frowned and opened the first photo. His heart froze. The photo showed Emily sitting in their family car, parked somewhere in a dark place. She was without a coat, in a blouse half unbuttoned, and was kissing a man. The man was large, with short dark hair and a tattoo on his neck. Jacob didn't know him. The second photo was worse. Emily sat on the man's lap, her arms wrapped around his neck. The third showed them in an even more intimate pose. Jacob felt the blood rush to his head. He opened the video, even though part of him was screaming at him not to. The video lasted 10 seconds. Emily and a man had sex in the back seat of their car. The sound was muffled. Jacob turned off the video, threw the phone on the couch, and covered his face with his hands. His hands were shaking. He got up, went to the kitchen and poured water, but couldn't drink it. The glass almost slipped out. He returned to the living room, picked up his phone, and reread the message. It just said, "You should see this." No name, no explanation. He tried to call the number, but the answering machine said the number was unavailable. Jacob sat down, trying to comprehend what he had seen. Emily, the woman he loved, the mother of his daughter, cheated on him. Jacob felt the rage and pain fighting inside him. He wanted to scream, but Lily was sleeping in the playpen, and he restrained himself. He picked up his phone and texted Emily, "We need to talk. Now." There was no answer. He waited, pacing the living room until Lily stirred in her sleep. He carefully carried her to her crib upstairs, being careful not to wake her. When he returned, Emily still did not answer. In desperation, Jacob called his friend Mike, a colleague at a construction company. Mike was older, divorced, and always seemed like a man who knew how to deal with problems. "Jacob, what happened?" Mike asked, hearing his voice. "Mike, I don't know where to start," Jacob said, trying to speak quietly. "I just received a message. Photos and videos. Emily, she's with some guy. In our car. You understand." Mike paused. "Damn," he said finally. "Are you sure it's her?" "That's her," Jacob answered. "I'm not blind. I saw her face. And this is our car." "Oh my God," Mike said. "Listen, do you know who this guy is?" "No," Jacob said. "But he looks like a bandit. Neck tattoo healthy. Doesn't look like her colleagues." "Okay," Mike said. "The first thing you need to do is calm down. Don't do anything stupid until you talk to her. Maybe there's an explanation." "What is the explanation?" Jacob shouted, but then lowered his voice, remembering Lily. "She's in our car with him, Mike. This is not a misunderstanding." "I understand," Mike said, "but you don't know the whole story. Talk to her, and save these photos. If it comes to, divorce or something, this might come in handy. Just control yourself. For Lily's sake." Jacob nodded, although Mike couldn't see him. "Thank you," he said. "I will try." He hung up and checked his phone again. Emily wrote, "I'll be there in an hour." Jacob felt his anger flare again. She acted as if nothing had happened. To distract himself, he decided to find out who could have sent the message. He remembered that Lisa, Emily's friend from the cafeteria, sometimes called her from different numbers. Maybe it was her. But why would she do this? Jacob found Lisa on social media and sent her a message. "Lisa, this is Jacob. Did you send me something today? We need to talk." The reply came 5 minutes later. "Jacob, I didn't send anything." "What happened? Is Emily okay?" He didn't explain. Instead, he wrote, "It's okay, just confused. Thank you." Lisa didn't seem guilty, but Jacob wasn't sure. He began looking for information about the man in the photo. He didn't have a name, but he remembered a tattoo something like a snake or a dragon. The results were general, but one article caught attention, a piece about a local man, Travis Crow, who was arrested last year for possession of a controlled substance. The article mentioned a neck tattoo. Jacob found his photo in the court records. It was him. Travis Crow, 40, had 5 previous convictions, including trafficking in controlled substances and assault. He had 5 children by 4 women and was under investigation for illegal gun possession. Jacob felt nauseous. Emily, who always judged such people, was with this man. He sat staring at the screen when he heard the front door open. Emily walked in, taking off her coat. She looked tired but not alarmed. "Are you still awake?" she asked, hanging up her coat. "I thought you were lying down." Jacob stood up, holding the phone. "We need to talk," he said, trying to speak calmly. "Now." Emily frowned. "What happened?" she asked. "You're acting weird." He showed her the phone with the photo open. Her face turned pale. "What is this?" she asked, but her voice trembled. "You know what it is," Jacob said. Emily stepped back. "It's not what you think," she said quickly. "You're completely crazy. I saw the video, Emily. You're with him. You know what you did. Don't lie to me." Emily covered her face with her hands. "I didn't want to," she said. "It happened once. I was drunk. I didn't think straight. It doesn't mean anything." "Once?" Jacob asked. "You're with Travis Crow, Emily. Do you know who he is? Dealer of prohibited substances. He has 5 convictions. How did you even get in touch with him?" Emily looked at him, fear flashing in her eyes. "How do you know his name?" she asked. "I'm not an idiot," Jacob said. "I found him. And you tell me what's going on, or I swear I." He stopped when he saw Emily start to cry. "I don't know how it happened," she said. "Lisa introduced us. He seemed normal. I didn't know about his past." "You didn't know?" Jacob shouted. "You always said that you hate people like that. And now you're in our car with him, and someone's filming it. What's wrong with you, Emily?" She sobbed while sitting on the sofa. "I didn't mean to hurt you," she said. I felt bad. You don't understand how hard it was for me." "Hard?" Jacob asked. "We have a daughter, Emily, which you yourself wanted. We are family, and you're sleeping with a criminal." Emily was silent, wiping away tears. Jacob looked at her and didn't recognize her. The woman he loved has disappeared. "I don't know what to do now," he said finally, "but I can't do that. Not after this." Emily looked up. "Please," she said, "don't tell anyone. For Lily's sake, we can fix this." Jacob shook his head. "I don't know, Emily," he said. "I really don't know." He went into the bedroom, leaving her on the sofa. Lily slept in her room, unaware that their family was collapsing. Jacob lay down, but could not sleep. Rage and pain tore him apart, and he knew that life would never be the same. The morning was gray and cold. Jacob Wilson stayed up most of the night. After yesterday's conversation with Emily, when he showed her photos and videos of her infidelity with Travis Crow, he went to bed in the bedroom, but his thoughts did not give him peace. He lay there looking at the ceiling until Lily started crying at 5 in the morning. Jacob stood up, changed her diaper, and fed her, trying to move automatically. Lily, 1 year and 3 months old, smiled, unaware that their family was falling apart. Jacob held her in his arms until she fell asleep again and returned to the living room. Emily was sleeping on the couch, wrapped in a blanket. Her face was swollen from crying, but Jacob felt no pity, only emptiness. He sat down in his chair, holding his phone, and looked back at the message with the photo. He saved them in a separate folder, as Mike suggested, but each image cut him inside. Emily with Travis, a drug dealer, in their car. The woman he loved, the mother of his daughter, betrayed him. When Emily woke up, it was about 8 in the morning. She sat on the couch, rubbing her eyes, and looked at Jacob. "You weren't sleeping?" she asked quietly. "No," he answered without looking at her. "I couldn't." Emily stood up and went to the kitchen. Jacob heard her pouring water. He waited for her to say something, but she was silent. Finally, he couldn't stand it anymore. "We need to finish yesterday's conversation," he said, standing up. "You didn't explain anything. How did you even get to this point, Emily?" She returned to the living room holding the glass. "I told you so," she replied, avoiding his gaze. "It was a mistake. Once, I didn't want you to find out." "Once? Is that an excuse?" Jacob asked, raising his voice. Emily set her glass down and crossed her arms. "Stop screaming," she said. Emily covered her face with her hands. "I didn't want it to happen like this," she said. "I didn't think this would get to you." "But it got through," Jacob said. "And now I don't know how we're going to live. You've ruined everything we had." Emily looked at him, and her face hardened. Maybe it's for the best, she said. I can't do this anymore. I want a divorce, Jacob. He froze. The word divorce hit him like a slap in the face. Yes, said Emily, I'm not happy. And you too. It's better to break up than to pretend. Jacob looked at her, not believing his ears. What about Lily? He asked. Have you thought about her? She's our daughter, Emily. We promised her a family. Emily looked away. Lily will be fine, she said. We'll figure it out. I don't want to fight, Jacob. I just want to leave. Is divorce really the only option for Emily and Jacob? Like and subscribe so you don't miss the next exciting stories. Jacob shook his head. You can't just up and leave, he said. We have a daughter. You can't leave her. Emily stood up and walked towards the stairs. I'm not leaving her, she said. But I can't stay here. I'll pack my things and go to Lisa. We'll talk about Lily later. She went upstairs, and Jacob remained in the living room, feeling the floor disappear from under his feet. He heard Emily packing her bag in the bedroom. Half an hour later, she came down holding a sports bag. She looked at the playpen where Lily had previously slept, but did not go upstairs to her daughter. You won't even say goodbye to her? Jacob asked, standing at the door. Emily stopped, but didn't turn around. I'll come back for it later, she said. I need time. She opened the door and went out. Jacob watched her get into her car and drive away. He closed the door and sat on the sofa, feeling empty. Lily was upstairs and Emily was gone. He was alone. An hour later, Lily began to cry. Jacob stood up, picked her up, and began rocking her to sleep. Her blue eyes looked at him, and he felt tears welling up. He won't let Lily grow up without a family. No matter what Emily does, he will fight for his daughter. He called Emily's parents, John and Mary Clark. They lived in a nearby town and always loved Lily. Jacob didn't want to upset them, but he needed support. John, this is Jacob, he said when they answered. I need to talk to you. This is about Emily. What's happened? John asked, his voice worried. Is she okay? Physically, yes, Jacob said. But she left. She said she wanted a divorce. I found evidence that she cheated on me with a man named Travis Crow. Mary, who was listening on speakerphone, gasped. Travis Crow? She said. Is this the one they wrote about in the newspapers? With prohibited substances. Yes, Jacob said. I don't know how she got in touch with him. But she went to her friend Lisa. Left Lily with me. Oh, Jacob, Mary said. How could she? Our girl. We thought she was happy with you. She was completely crazy. I thought so too, Jacob said. But now, I don't know what to do. I don't want Lily to get hurt. You're right, John said. Lily is the main thing. We will come tomorrow and help her. And Emily, we'll talk to her. Thank you, Jacob said. I didn't expect this. So do we, said Mary. Hang in there, Jacob. We are with you. He hung up and looked at Lily, who was playing with a rattle on the carpet. He didn't know how to explain to her that her mother was gone, but he knew he wouldn't give her up. Emily might ruin their marriage, but Lily was his daughter, and he would do anything to keep her safe. Jacob called Mike, his friend, to tell him what happened. Has she left? Mike said after listening. Just took it and left. And Lily? She left me with her, Jacob said. She said she'd come back for her, but I wouldn't give her the baby. Damn, Mike said. Listen, you need to think about Lily. If Emily got involved with Travis, she might not be okay. You must protect the baby. I know, Jacob said. I won't give it up, but I don't know where to start. Get a lawyer, Mike said. I know one guy, he helped me with divorce. I'll give you his number, and keep these photos. You'll need them. Thanks, Mike, Jacob said. I didn't think it would come to this. Nobody thinks, Mike said, but you can handle it. For Lily's sake. Jacob put the phone down and looked at his daughter. She was crawling on the carpet, laughing. He sat down next to her and picked her up. We can handle it, baby, he said. Just you and me. The snow was melting, leaving puddles on the sidewalks, and the gray sky was weighing down on his mood. Jacob Wilson sat in his living room, looking at Lily, who was playing with wooden blocks on the carpet. She was just over a year old, and her laughter was the only thing keeping Jacob from falling into complete despair. It had been 2 weeks since Emily announced her divorce and left home, leaving Lily with him. She had called a few times, asking about their daughter, but she hadn't returned or explained what was going on. Jacob felt devastated, but he knew he had to act for Lily. After Emily left, he followed his friend Mike's advice and contacted a lawyer. A week later, Mike gave him the number of Sarah Miller, the woman who helped him with his divorce. "She's tough but fair," Mike said, "and she understands what you're going through." Jacob called Sarah and made an appointment. Today, February 28th, he was scheduled to meet her for the first time at her office in downtown Columbus. Jacob looked at Lily, who was trying to stack the blocks into a tower. He didn't want to leave her, but Emily's parents, John and Mary, offered to babysit her. They arrived in the morning, still shocked by their daughter's behavior. "Jacob, are you sure you want to start all this?" asked Mary, sitting on the sofa with a cup of tea. "Maybe Emily will come to her senses." Jacob shook his head as he packed his bag of documents. "She's gone, Mary," he said, "and she was with Travis Crow. I am silent about male pride, loyalty to the oath, and so on, but Lily, I can't risk it. Lily should be safe." John, who was sitting next to him, nodded. "You're right," he said. "We don't recognize our girl. This Travis, he's a dangerous man. Prohibited substances, criminal records. We don't want Lily anywhere near him." "Thank you," Jacob said. "I appreciate your support. I just want Lily to grow up in a normal environment." Mary sighed, looking at her granddaughter. "So do we," she said. "But it pains us to think that Emily has changed so much. We'll try to talk to her, but do what you have to do." Jacob nodded and took the car keys. "I'll be back in a couple of hours," he said. "If Lily is naughty, her bottle is in the refrigerator." "Don't worry," John said. "We can handle it." Jacob kissed Lily on the forehead and walked out. He got into his truck and drove downtown, his stomach churning with nerves. He didn't know what to expect from this meeting with his lawyer, but he knew it was the first step in protecting Lily. Sarah Miller's office was in a small brick building near downtown Columbus. The sign read, "Miller and Associates, Family Law." Jacob entered and informed the secretary about the meeting. 5 minutes later, he was invited into the office. Sarah Miller was a woman of about 42, with short blonde hair and tired but alert blue eyes. She was wearing a gray suit, and there were folders and a laptop on the table. She stood up and shook Jacob's hand. "Mr. Wilson," she said, smiling. "Nice to meet you. Have a seat." "Thank you," Jacob said, sitting down on the chair opposite. "Call me Jacob." "Okay, Jacob," Sarah said. "And I'm Sarah. Mike has told me a little about your situation, but I want to hear it all from you. What's going on?" Jacob took a deep breath and began. "My wife, Emily, left 2 weeks ago," he said. "She said she wants a divorce. We have a daughter, Lily. She is 1 year and 3 months old. I found out that Emily cheated on me with a man named Travis Crow. He has a criminal past. Prohibited substances, assault, 5 convictions. I don't want Lily near her if she's with him." Sarah nodded, taking notes. "This is serious," she said. "Tell me more. How did you find out about the betrayal?" Jacob swallowed, feeling the shame and pain return. "I received an anonymous message," he said. "Photos and videos. Emily is in our car with him. Well, you understand. I showed it to her, and she admitted it, but said it was a one-time thing. And then she left, leaving Lily with me." "Did you save these materials?" Sarah asked. "Yes," Jacob said. "They're on my phone. And I found information about Travis on the internet. He's under investigation for weapons." Sarah looked at him. "It's good that you saved the evidence," she said. "They may be important. Tell us how Emily behaved before she left. Were there any signs that something was wrong?" Jacob talked about the last few months, how Emily had become distant, often staying late after work, spending time with her friend Lisa, and how she refused to discuss her feelings. He mentioned their fights and how she accused him of suffocating her. I tried to understand, he said, but she didn't explain anything. And then this, with Travis, I don't recognize her. Sarah put down her pen and looked at him. Jacob, I understand how hurt you are, she said. I myself went through a divorce 5 years ago. My ex-husband was an alcoholic, and I was fighting for custody of my son. It's hard, but you're doing the right thing by thinking about Lily. Jacob nodded, relieved that she understood. Thank you, he said. I just want Lily to be safe. I don't know what Emily is up to, but if she's with Travis, I can't trust her. Okay, said Sarah. Let's figure out what we can do. Do you want full custody of Lily? Yes, Jacob said. I don't mind Emily seeing her, but only if she's not with this guy. I'm afraid for Lily. Sarah nodded. That's reasonable, she said. In Ohio, courts look at the best interests of the child when determining custody. If Emily is involved with someone with a criminal past, it works against her. But we need proof. Photos and videos are a good start, but we need to show that she poses a risk to Lily. How do I do that? Jacob asked. I don't know where she is now. She said she's with Lisa, but I'm not sure. We'll start with what we have, Sarah said. I'll ask you to write down everything you remember, the dates she stayed late, what she said, how she behaved with Lily. If you have messages or calls, save them. We may also request information about Travis through public records. His criminal record will help us. Jacob nodded. I can do it, he said. I have her messages where she says that she will be with Lisa, and I talked to her parents. They are also shocked. It's useful, Sarah said. If Emily's parents support you, their testimony may help. Are they ready to speak in court? I think so, Jacob said. They love Lily, and they don't want her with Travis. Great, said Sarah. One more thing. How are you coping with Lily? The court will look at how stable a parent you are. I'm trying, Jacob said. I work, but I take days off when necessary. Emily's parents help. Lily goes to nursery school a couple of days a week. I do everything to make her happy. Sarah smiled. That's good, she said. The court likes to see that the parent is organized and taking care of the child. Keep it up. And if Emily wants to take Lily, don't give her away without my advice. We must be careful. Got it, Jacob said. What if she doesn't come back? She called a couple of times, but didn't come. If she doesn't show up, that also works in our favor, Sarah said. But we must be prepared for the possibility that she may change her mind. Did you talk to her after you left? Only by phone, Jacob said. She asked about Lily, but didn't say where she was or what she was doing. Okay, said Sarah. If she calls, be polite, but don't give her a reason to accuse you of something. And let me know about every contact. Jacob nodded, feeling a little weight lift off his shoulders. For the first time in weeks, he felt like he had a plan. Thank you, Sarah, he said. I didn't know where to start. This helps. You're welcome, Sarah said. I know what it's like to feel like the world is falling apart. But you are not alone. We will do everything to protect Lily. She handed him a business card. Call me if anything happens, she said, and start collecting notes. I will prepare documents for divorce and custody. We will start with temporary custody so that Lily can stay with you while the process takes place. Okay, Jacob said, taking the card. How long will it take? Depends on the court and how Emily reacts, Sarah said. Several months, maybe more, but we will move step by step. Jacob stood up, shaking her hand. I'll do whatever it takes, he said, for Lily's sake. I believe you, said Sarah. Go home to your daughter. I'll start working on your case. Jacob left the office feeling a mixture of relief and anxiety. Sarah seemed like someone you could trust. Her calmness and understanding gave him hope, but he knew there was a long road ahead. On the way home, he called Mike to tell him about the meeting. So, how did the meeting go? Mike asked. Okay, Jacob said. Sarah knows her stuff. She said we could use Travis's mugshot and criminal record, and that I needed to gather evidence. Great, Mike said. I told you she's a pro. How are you holding up? Barely, Jacob admitted, but for Lily's sake, I can handle it. Thanks for giving her contact. No problem, Mike said. If anything happens, call me, and don't let Emily manipulate you. I won't, Jacob said. I don't trust her anymore. He hung up and drove up to the house. John and Mary were playing with Lily in the living room. She squealed when John tossed her soft ball. How did it go? Mary asked when Jacob entered. Okay, he said. The lawyer seems smart. She wants me to gather everything that can show Emily is unstable, and she thinks we can get custody. John nodded. That's right, he said. Mary and I will talk to Emily, but Lily must be with you. Thank you, Jacob said, taking Lily into his arms. I don't know what I would do without you. Mary hugged him. You're a good father, Jacob, she said. Lily is lucky to have you. Jacob smiled, but inside he felt pain. He wanted Lily to have both parents, but Emily made her choice. Now his task is to protect his daughter. With Sarah by his side, he felt he had a chance. He sat on the floor with Lily, helping her build a tower of blocks. Jacob Wilson sat in his kitchen, looking at Lily as she ate mashed bananas in her high chair. She was 1 year and 4 months old, and she was excitedly waving the spoon, spreading the puree across her chin. Jacob smiled, but his thoughts were elsewhere. It's been 2 weeks since he hired Sarah Miller, a family law attorney, to begin his custody battle over Lily. Emily, his wife, left home after announcing her divorce, and since then she has appeared only once to pick up some of her things. She barely talked about Lily, and that scared Jacob the most. Sarah advised collecting information about Emily's behavior, especially her relationship with Travis Crow, a man with a criminal record who sold illegal substances. Jacob saved the photos and videos sent anonymously, but he knew it wasn't enough. He wanted to know how Emily, who had always prided herself on her principles, had become drawn into the circle of such a man. The only clue was Lisa, Emily's friend who worked in the school cafeteria. Emily had mentioned Lisa frequently in recent months, and Jacob suspected that she was the one who connected Emily with Travis. Jacob decided to talk to Lisa. He found her number in old messages Emily left on their shared tablet. Lisa responded immediately and agreed to meet in a cafe near the school. Jacob asked Emily's mother Mary to babysit Lily and went to the meeting on the morning of March 3rd. Are you sure you want to dig into this? Mary asked as Jacob got ready. She was sitting on the sofa, holding Lily on her lap. I have to, Jacob said, putting on his jacket. If Emily got involved with bad people, I need to know. For Lily's sake. Mary nodded, but her face was sad. I don't understand what happened to her, she said. She was always so responsible. This Travis, we read about him, it's terrible. I know, Jacob said. That's why I'm going to Lisa. Maybe she'll explain something. Be careful, Mary said, and call me if anything happens. Jacob nodded and left. Joe's cafe was small, with wooden tables and the smell of freshly brewed coffee. Lisa was already sitting in the corner, wearing a bright pink jacket, which made her visible from afar. She was about 35, with short black hair and a loud voice. She waved to Jacob as he entered. Jacob, hi, she said, smiling. Long time no see. How are you? Hello, Lisa, he said, sitting down opposite. Not really, to be honest. That's why I'm here. Lisa frowned. Is it because of Emily? She asked. I heard she left. What's happened? Jacob looked at her, trying to figure out how sincere she was. You know what happened, he said. Emily cheated on me with Travis Crow. I received photos and videos, and I know that you introduced them. Lisa leaned back in her chair, her smile disappeared. Wait, she said. I didn't want it to turn out like this. I didn't think well, Tell me how it started, Jacob said, trying to speak calmly. I don't blame you, but I need to know. For Lily's sake. Lisa sighed and picked up her cup of coffee. Okay, she said. Emily and I became friends last fall. She was so sweet and always helped. I live in not the best area, and my car broke down. Emily gave me rides home a couple of times. I invited her to come over and introduced her to my husband, Rick. Rick knows Travis. They have been friends since childhood. Travis Crow? Jacob asked. Did you know he had a criminal record? Illegal substances, assault? Lisa looked away. I knew he was in trouble with the law, she said, but he always seemed normal. Charismatic, you know. He always joked and treated everyone to beer. I didn't think he was dangerous. And you decided that he was suitable for Emily? Jacob asked, feeling his irritation growing. No, said Lisa, raising her hands. It wasn't like that. We were just hanging out together. Me, Rick, Travis, a couple of other friends. Emily sometimes came to see me after work. We drank wine and chatted. Travis was there, and they started chatting. I didn't think it would go this far. Jacob clenched his fists under the table. How far? He asked. What happened, Lisa? I should know. Lisa paused, looking into her cup. They were flirting, she said finally. Travis knows how to charm. He complimented Emily, joked, and played music. She laughed, and I saw that she liked it. I thought it was just a game. But then they started dating separately. I saw them a couple times in Travis' car. And you didn't tell me anything? Jacob asked. You knew that we have a family, Lisa. We have a daughter. Lisa looked at him, and her eyes were full of guilt. I wanted to, she said. I swear I was going to tell you. But Emily asked to remain silent. She said that you have problems, that you are putting too much pressure on her. I didn't know what to do. And then I found out that someone sent you those photos. Who? Jacob asked. Do you know who did this? Lisa shook her head. Honestly, I don't know, she said. Maybe Travis's wife. She found out about them and was furious, but I'm not sure. Jacob frowned. Travis's wife? He said. Is he married? Yes, said Lisa, but they don't live together. He's got a lot of problems, Jacob. I didn't think Emily would get so involved. Jacob felt anxiety boiling inside him. Lisa, he said, lowering his voice, was Emily using something? Illegal substances? I need to know. Lisa hesitated, fiddling with the hem of her sweater. I didn't see her take anything, she said. But Travis, he was always with some people who do this. At parties we were at, I saw some people go into another room. Emily sometimes went with them. I didn't ask, but I can't say for sure. Jacob felt his heart clench. Emily, who always condemned those who broke the law, could be drawn into this. He imagined Lily next to her and felt fear. Why didn't you stop her? He asked. You saw that she was changing and did nothing. Lisa began to cry. I tried, she said. I told her that Travis is not someone to mess with. But she didn't listen. She said that she was having fun, that she felt alive. I didn't know how to warn you without betraying her. Jacob stood up, trying to control his anger. You should have told me, he said. Lily could have gotten hurt. If Emily is with these people, I can't trust her. I know, Lisa said, wiping her tears. It's my fault. If there's anything I can do, tell me. I don't want Lily to feel bad. Jacob looked at her. He didn't trust her completely, but he saw that she was sincerely sorry. If you want to help, he said, tell everything to Sarah, my lawyer. We need to know what Emily did, and if it involves illegal substances, I have to prove it. Lisa nodded. Okay, she said. Give me her contact information. I'll talk to her. Jacob wrote down Sarah's number and gave it to Lisa. And one more thing, he said. If Emily contacts you, tell me. I need to know where she is and what she's doing. I promise, Lisa said. I didn't mean for this to happen, Jacob. I'm sorry. He nodded but didn't answer. He left the cafe, feeling his fear for Lily intensify. If Emily was using illegal substances, it changed everything. He couldn't let her take her daughter. Returning home, he called Sarah and told about the conversation with Lisa. This is important, Jacob, Sarah said after listening. If Lisa is ready to talk, this could be key. Her testimony about Emily's behavior and her relationship with Travis will help us. She mentioned illegal substances, Jacob said. Not directly, but she said that Emily was at parties where this could have happened. I'm scared, Sarah. If Emily is involved in this, Lily can't be with her. I understand, Sarah said. We cannot yet prove consumption, but suspicions are already working in our favor. I'll talk to Lisa and see what I can find about Travis. If he's under investigation, there may be evidence there. What should I do now? Jacob asked. I don't know if he'll come back to Emily, but I don't want her to take Lily. Keep gathering information, Sarah said. Record all contact with Emily. If she calls, ask where she is and what she's doing, but stay calm. And keep Lily with you. I'll file for temporary guardianship next week. Okay, Jacob said. Thank you, Sarah. I don't want to lose her. You won't lose, said Sarah. We will do everything to keep Lily with you. Hang in there. It's been 3 weeks since Emily left home to announce her divorce, and 2 weeks since he hired Sarah Miller, a lawyer, to defend Lily. Emily called rarely, asking about her daughter, but did not come, and Jacob felt he had to take matters into his own hands. He decided to take time off from work to focus on Lily. His boss at the construction company, understanding the situation, agreed to give him a month, no questions asked. Jacob also started looking for a daycare center so Lily could interact with other kids while he sorted things out. Additionally, Sarah advised him to show the court that he was a stable and caring parent, and Jacob was determined to prove it. On the morning of March 10th, Jacob sat at the kitchen table, browsing the websites of local daycare centers. Lily sat in her high chair, munching on apple slices. He found the Sunny Meadow Kindergarten 2 miles from home. The reviews were good, and children from 1-year-old were accepted there. Jacob called to make an appointment for a viewing. Sunny Meadow Kindergarten, answered the woman with a kind voice. How can I help? Hello, Jacob said. My name is Jacob Wilson. I want to enroll my daughter in your kindergarten. She is 1 year and 4 months old. Can I come and have a look? Of course, the woman said. My name is Carol. Come today at 2 o'clock. I'll show you everything. What's your daughter's name? Lily, Jacob said. Thank you, Carol. We will. He hung up and looked at Lily, who had smeared an apple on her cheeks. It's time for you to make some friends, baby, he said, wiping her face with a napkin. Dad can't be your only company. Lily laughed, clapping her hands. Jacob felt a warmth in his chest, but then he remembered Emily. Her absence left a hole in their lives, and he struggled with the anger that flared whenever he thought about her and Travis Crow, the drug dealer. At 2 o'clock, Jacob arrived at Sunny Meadow with Lily in his arms. The building was bright, with colorful paintings on the walls and a children's playground in the courtyard. Carol, a woman in her 50s with gray hair, met them at the entrance. You must be Jacob, she said, smiling. Is this Lily? What a cutie. Thank you, Jacob said, straightening Lily's hat. We want to see if she'll fit in here. Of course, Carol said. Come on, I'll show you a group for kids. She led them into a room where several children were playing with toys under the supervision of a teacher. Lily immediately reached for the colorful cubes. Carol explained the schedule: games, sleep, walks, meals. Jacob listened, asking questions. How do you cope if the child is capricious? He asked. Lily sometimes cries when I'm not there. We're giving them time to get used to it, Carol said. During the first few days, the parent can stay so that the child feels calm. We have a small staff, so every child gets enough attention. That's good, Jacob said. I want her to be happy. She will, Carol said. Are you raising it alone? Jacob hesitated. For now, yes, he said. My wife and I are in the process of divorce. Carol nodded without asking any further questions. I understand, she said. We have other children with one parent. We try to support everyone. When do you want to start? Maybe next week, said Jacob. I'll take a couple of days for her to get used to it. Great, Carol said. Come on Monday. We will be glad to see Lily. Jacob thanked him and left, feeling relieved. The daycare looked safe, and he hoped Lily would like it. But the thought that he was now the only one responsible for her was frightening. When he returned home, he called his friend Mike to share the news. "Well, how are you, Dad?" Mike asked, his voice cheerful. "Found a garden for Lily." "Yes," Jacob said. "Sunny meadow. Nice place." Lily was already there playing with the blocks. "Cool," Mike said. "How are you? Not crazy yet?" Jacob chuckled, but it was a bitter laugh. "I'll try," he said. "But it's hard. I think about Emily all the time. How could she leave? And this Travis, I can't get him out of my head." "I understand," Mike said. "Listen, you need to talk to someone other than me. I know one group for single fathers. They meet at the community center on Thursdays. I went there after my divorce. Helps." "Group," Jacob said. "I don't know, Mike. I'm not a fan of sharing with strangers." "Try it," Mike said. "There are normal guys there. Nobody forces you to talk if you don't want to. Just listen. It's better than sitting and being angry." Jacob sighed. "Okay," he said. "Give me the address. Maybe I'll go." Mike sent him the information, and the following Thursday, March 16th, Jacob left Lily with Emily's parents and drove to the community center. The building was old, with peeling paint, but it was warm inside and smelled of coffee. The group gathered in a room with a round table. Jacob walked in and saw 6 men, ranging from 20 to 50 years old. The host, a man in his 40s named Tom, greeted him. "You must be Jacob," Tom said, shaking his hand. "Mike said you would come. Sit down, grab some coffee." "Thank you," Jacob said, sitting down in the corner. He felt out of place, but decided to stay. Tom started the meeting by asking who wanted to share. The first to speak was a man named Ryan, about 30 years old, with a tired face. "My son started asking where his mom was," Ryan said. "He's 4, and I don't know how to explain that she left for someone else. I'm angry, but I don't want him to see it." Jacob listened, feeling Ryan's words resonate with him. Another man, Paul, in his 50s, described how his teenage daughter blamed him for the divorce. Everyone talked about their problems, and Jacob realized that he was not alone. When it was his turn, Tom asked, "Jacob, do you want to say something?" "Not necessarily, just if you're ready." Jacob paused, looking at his cup of coffee. "My wife left a month ago," he said finally. "We have a daughter, Lily. She is 1 year and 4 months old. Emily, she cheated on me with a guy who sells illegal substances. I'm trying to take care of Lily, but I'm so angry. I don't know how to deal with this." The men nodded, no one interrupted. Tom looked at him. "It's hard," he said. "Anger is normal. But if it accumulates, it can harm you and Lily. Have you tried anything to release it?" "Not really," Jacob said. "I'm just trying to be with Lily. But at night, when she's asleep, I think about Emily and that guy, and I want to break something." Ryan, sitting next to him, nodded. "I was the same," he said. "Writing helped me. I wrote down everything that made me angry and then tore the paper. It sounds stupid, but it helps. And I started running," Paul said. "You get so tired that you don't have the strength to be angry." Jacob listened, and the advice seemed simple but reasonable. Tom added, "The main thing is not to keep it to yourself," he said, "and remember who you're trying for. Lily needs you, and you do everything you can for her." Jacob nodded. "I know," he said. "I just don't want her to grow up without a mother. But I don't trust Emily." "It's your instinct," Tom said. "Listen to him, and come to us whenever you want. We're here to support." After the meeting, Jacob felt lighter. He didn't solve all the problems, but talking to men who had gone through similar things gave him strength. He decided to try the tips. He started jogging in the morning while Lily was sleeping and wrote down his thoughts in a notebook. On Monday, he took Lily to Sunny Meadow. The first days he stayed with her, helping her get used to it. Lily cried when he left, but Carol comforted her. By the end of the week, she was playing with other children, and Jacob felt relieved. He called Sarah Miller to report the progress. "Lily is in kindergarten," he said, "and I started going to a group for single fathers. This helps." "That's great, Jacob," Sarah said. "The court will see that you do everything for Lily. I received a statement from Lisa. She confirmed that Emily was with Travis and had been to suspicious parties. This strengthens our cause. Thank you, Jacob said. Emily called yesterday. She asked about Lily, but didn't say where she was. I'm afraid she'll try to take her away. If she shows up, call me, Sarah said. We'll apply for temporary custody next week. Continue to take care of Lily and record all contacts with Emily. Okay, Jacob said. I can handle it. April 2023 in Columbus, Ohio was warm, with blooming trees and bright sunshine. But for Jacob Wilson, spring did not bring joy. He stood in front of the family court building, straightening the tie he was wearing for the first time in years. Today, April 12th, the trial for custody of his daughter Lily, who was 1 year and 5 months old, began. Emily, his wife, left home 2 months ago, announcing her divorce after Jacob discovered her affair with Travis Crow, a drug dealer. Now he was fighting for Lily to stay with him, and he was afraid that Emily, despite her actions, would be able to convince the court that she was right. Sarah Miller, Jacob's lawyer, was waiting for him at the entrance. Her gray suit was impeccable, and in her hands she held a folder with documents. She smiled when she saw him. "Ready, Jacob?" she asked, adjusting her glasses. "Not exactly," he said, wiping his sweaty palms on his trousers. "But I'm here for Lily. What should I do?" "Be yourself," Sarah said. "Answer honestly. Talk about Lily. We'll show you're a stable parent. We have evidence that Emily has been irresponsible. The main thing is to stay calm, even if she starts to provoke you." Jacob nodded, feeling his stomach tighten. He hasn't seen Emily since she came to get her things a month ago. She looked tired then, but did not repent. He didn't know what to expect today. They entered the courtroom, a small one with wooden benches and a portrait of the president on the wall. The judge, a woman in her 60s named Elizabeth Harris, sat at her desk, looking over papers. Emily was already there, next to her lawyer, a man in a blue suit. She was in a formal dress, her hair was tied up in a bun, but her face was tense. She looked at Jacob, but quickly looked away. Sarah whispered to Jacob, "She's nervous. This is good for us. Sit down and breathe." Jacob sat down, trying not to look at Emily. The hearing began and Judge Harris spoke. "We're looking into a custody case over Lily Wilson," she said. "Mr. Wilson is asking for full custody, citing Mrs. Wilson's inappropriate behavior. Mrs. Wilson is asking for joint custody. Let's start with the statements of the parties." Sarah stood up. "Your Honor," she said, "my client, Jacob Wilson, is a loving father who has taken full charge of Lily's care since Mrs. Wilson's passing. He took time off, enrolled his daughter in daycare, and is attending a support group to cope. Mrs. Wilson, on the other hand, abandoned her family, was caught having an affair with a man with a criminal record, and recently lost her job due to inappropriate behavior. We believe that she is unable to keep Lily safe." Emily's lawyer, who introduced himself as David Klein, stood up. "Your Honor," he said, "Mrs. Wilson admits her mistakes, but she is a loving mother who wants to restore her relationship with her daughter. She is ready to prove that she can be responsible. The allegations against her are exaggerated, and she deserves a chance." The judge nodded. "Okay," she said. "Let's start with the testimony. Mr. Wilson, tell us about your situation." Jacob stood up, feeling all eyes on him. "I love my daughter," he said, trying to speak clearly. "I've been taking care of Lily every day since Emily left. I feed her, take her to kindergarten, and put her to bed. I took time off to be with her. I want her to grow up in a safe environment, and I do everything I can to ensure that." "How do you cope emotionally?" asked the judge. "Divorce is stressful." "It's hard," Jacob said, "but I go to a group for single fathers. They help me deal with anger. I don't want Lily to see me angry. She is my priority." The judge nodded, taking notes. "Thank you, Mr. Wilson," she said. "Mrs. Wilson, your turn." Emily stood up, her hands shaking. "I love Lily," she said, her voice quiet. "I know I made mistakes. I was stressed and it affected my decisions. But I'm a good mother. I've taken care of Lily since birth, and I want to be a part of her life." "Why did you leave home?" asked the judge. Emily hesitated. Jacob and I had problems, she said. I felt depressed. I needed time to figure myself out. But I never left Lily. I called and asked about her. Sarah stood up. Your Honor, may I ask a question? She asked. Yes, said the judge. Sarah looked at Emily. Mrs. Wilson, you said you called, she said. But in 2 months, you saw Lily only once, when you picked up your things. This is true. Emily blushed. I was busy, she said. I had personal matters, but I plan to return. Personal matters, including the connection with Travis Crowe, asked Sarah, a man with 5 convictions for trafficking in controlled substances and assault. Emily clenched her fists. It's not fair, she said, raising her voice. You make me look like a monster. I didn't know about his past when we met. It was a mistake. The judge tapped her pencil on the table. Mrs. Wilson, calm down, she said. Answer questions. Emily inhaled, but her face was red. I'm not proud of it, she said. But I'm not with him now. I want to focus on Lily. Sarah continued. You lost your job at school, right? She asked. Because of inappropriate behavior. Can you explain? Emily looked at her lawyer, but he nodded for her to answer. I was fired, she said. I skipped classes. I was stressed. But I'm looking for a new job. This doesn't mean I'm a bad mother. Did you miss classes? Sarah asked. You were fired because you came to work in an unsuitable state, right? Colleagues reported that you seemed distracted, perhaps under the influence of something. Emily jumped up. This is a lie, she shouted. They just wanted to get rid of me. You have no right to say that. The hall froze. The judge frowned. Mrs. Wilson, sit down, she said sternly. One more flash, and I will remove you from the hall. Miss Miller, go ahead. Sarah nodded. Your Honor, we will present evidence from Mrs. Wilson's colleagues, she said. They confirm that her behavior has changed in recent months, which coincides with her involvement with Mr. Crowe. Emily sat down, covering her face with her hands. Her lawyer whispered something to her, but she didn't answer. The judge turned to Jacob. Mr. Wilson, she said, tell me how you organized Lily's life. Jacob stood up again. I enrolled her in the Sunny Meadow Kindergarten, he said. She goes there 3 times a week. She likes it there. I cook her food, take her to the pediatrician, and buy her clothes. Emily's parents help when I'm at work. I try to make sure she has everything she needs. How does Lily cope without her mother? Asked the judge. She cries sometimes, Jacob said, but I try to be with her as much as possible. I read to her and played. She is happy when we are together. The judge nodded. Thank you, she said. Now let's hear the witnesses. Sarah called Carol, the kindergarten teacher. Carol stood up and told how Jacob brought Lily, how he helped her get used to it and always picked her up on time. He's a very caring father, Carol said. Lily loves him. She always smiles when he comes. Then Lisa, Emily's friend, spoke. She was nervous, but confirmed that Emily spent time with Travis and went to parties where there may have been illegal substances. I didn't see her taking anything, Lisa said. But she changed. She became irritable. She missed work. Emily looked at Lisa, and her eyes were full of anger. Jacob noticed her clenching her fists, but she remained silent. Emily's lawyer called her colleague, a teacher named Anna, who said that Emily had been a good mother until her last months. She loved Lily, Anna said. But yes, she has become unreliable. We were worried about her. The meeting lasted 3 hours. Jacob felt tired, but held on. Sarah was calm and confident, asking questions that highlighted Emily's instability. Emily, on the other hand, looked increasingly tense, and her outburst did not go unnoticed. After the meeting, Sarah pulled Jacob aside. You did well, she said. The judge saw that you are organized and take care of Lily. Emily's outburst and dismissal work against her. She looked so angry, Jacob said. I didn't think she would behave like that. This is good for us, said Sarah. Judges don't like it when people lose control. We will continue to press on her relationship with Travis and her instability. The next meeting is in 2 weeks. Get ready. Thank you, Sarah, Jacob said. I just want this to end. I understand, she said. Go home to Lily. You're doing everything right. Jacob returned home where Mary was waiting with Lily. He told her about the meeting and she hugged him. You're great, said Mary. Lily is lucky to have you. Jacob took Lily into his arms. She laughed, fiddling with his shirt. He looked at her and felt that, despite the pain, he was on the right path. He was ready to fight for his daughter, and today's meeting showed that he had a chance. On the morning of April 28th, Jacob received a call from Sarah. He had just returned from a walk with Lily and was putting her to bed for an afternoon nap. Jacob, I have news, Sarah said, her voice serious. Travis Crow received a sentence. 5 years in prison for trafficking in controlled substances and illegal possession of weapons. The trial took place yesterday. Jacob sat down on the couch, feeling relieved. That's good, he said, so he won't be around Lily. Will this help us in court? Yes, said Sarah. His verdict shows that Emily became involved with a dangerous man. This strengthens our cause, but there's something else. Did you hear what Emily told the reporters after the trial? No, Jacob said, frowning. What did she say? Sarah paused. She gave an interview to the local newspaper, she said. She said she would wait for Travis while he was in prison. It made the news. I'll send you a link. Jacob felt the blood drain from his face. She said she would wait for him. He asked. Publicly, after everything? Yes, said Sarah. This shocked many. Her parents called me this morning. They were terrified. This can have a big impact on the court. Her statement shows that she is not thinking about Lily. I don't understand, Jacob said. How can she? She knows who he is. Prohibited substances, weapons, criminal records, and she wants to be with him. I know, Sarah said. It works in our favor, but you need to be prepared. The judge will see that she is unstable. Continue to take care of Lily and record all contacts with Emily. Okay, Jacob said. Thank you, Sarah. I don't believe she said that. Hold on, Sarah said. We use this. Call if anything happens. Jacob hung up and opened the link Sarah had sent. An article in the local newspaper was titled, Columbus Man Sentenced for Trafficking in Controlled Substances. At the end, there was a paragraph about Emily. Emily Wilson, associated with Crow, told reporters, I'll wait for Travis. He's not who they think he is. We'll get through this. Jacob read it twice, unable to believe his eyes. Emily, who always prided herself on her principles, publicly supported the criminal. He called Mary and John, Emily's parents, to get their reaction. Mary answered immediately, her voice trembling. Jacob, have you seen the news? She asked. I can't believe Emily said that. How could she? I just found out, Jacob said. Sarah called me. Have you talked to her? We tried, said Mary. She doesn't answer. We left a message, but I don't know what's going on with her. She's not herself. John picked up the phone. Jacob, this is crazy, he said. We always taught Emily to be responsible. This Travis is a criminal. Why is she protecting him? I don't know, Jacob said, but I'm afraid for Lily. If Emily thinks that way, I can't trust her. You're right, John said. We will support you in court. Lily should be with you. We don't recognize our daughter. Thank you, Jacob said. I just want Lily to be safe. So do we, said Mary. Come with Lily if you want. We are always happy. Jacob thanked him and hung up. He looked at Lily sleeping in her crib and felt fear mingling with determination. Emily had lost touch with reality, and he had to protect his daughter. That evening, he went to the community center to attend a support group for single fathers. He needed to talk it out. There were 7 people in the room, including Tom, the host. Jacob sat down and waited his turn. I have news, he said as Tom nodded to him. My wife, she gave an interview. She said that she would wait for the guy with whom she cheated on me. He received 5 years for controlled substances and weapons. I don't understand how she can. The men were silent, looking at him with sympathy. Ryan, the father of a 4-year-old son, was the first to speak. "This is crazy," he said. "My ex also dated some scumbag after the divorce. She thought he was cool. But then he left her. Your wife seems to be in the same condition." "How did you deal with this?" Jacob asked. "I'm so angry, but I don't want Lily to see this." "I went to the gym," Ryan said. "I beat the bag until I got tired," and he spoke to his son. "He helped me remember what was important." Paul, the older man, added, "My daughter saved me," he said. "When I was angry with my ex, I looked at her and realized that she was my priority. Your Lily is your anchor, Jacob." Tom nodded. "Anger is normal," he said, "but use it to move forward. You're fighting for Lily, and that makes you stronger." Jacob listened, feeling their words help. He talked about the trial and how Emily lost her job. "The judge saw that she was unstable," he said, "but I'm still afraid she'll convince them to give her Lily." "If she supports a criminal, it won't help her," Tom said. "Keep doing what you're doing. The court will see who you are." After the meeting, Jacob returned home and called Sarah to discuss Emily's statement. "This is a gift for us," said Sarah. "Her words show that she is not thinking about Lily. I will file a motion to use this in court. We will also request her financial records. If she's unemployed, that's another minus." "She's really not herself," Jacob said. "Her parents are shocked. They are ready to testify for me." "That's great," Sarah said. "Their support means a lot. Keep taking care of Lily. Next meeting in a week. We'll be ready." "Thank you, Sarah," Jacob said. "I just want Lily to be with me." "We will achieve this," Sarah said. "You're doing everything right." Jacob hung up and went to check on Lily. She slept clutching her rabbit. He looked at her and realized that the Emily he knew was gone. Her decision to wait for Travis wasn't just a mistake, she'd lost touch with reality. Sarah called almost daily, updating Jacob on progress. In recent weeks, they have collected key evidence: emails between Emily and Travis, testimony from her colleagues at school, and recordings of her erratic behavior. Jacob felt that things were moving in his favor, but the fear of losing Lily did not go away. He knew that Emily was still trying to portray herself as a good mother, and he was afraid that she would find a way to convince the court. On the morning of May 5th, Jacob met with Sarah at her office in downtown Columbus. Lily stayed with Mary, Emily's mother, who now helped regularly. Jacob walked into Sarah's office, holding a folder of documents he had collected at her request. "Good morning, Jacob," Sarah said, getting up from the table. Her blonde hair was pulled back into a neat bun, and there were printouts and a laptop on the table. "Take a seat. We have a lot of work to do." "Hi, Sarah," Jacob said, sitting down. "I brought everything you asked for. Emily's messages, call records, dates she went missing." "Great," Sarah said, taking the folder. "Let's see. Tell me what you have." Jacob opened the folder and pulled out the printouts. "These are Emily's messages from December to February," he said. "I found them on our old tablet. She did not log out of her account. She wrote to Lisa about her meetings with Travis. Here," he showed the sheet, "she says, 'Travis knows how to entertain, not like at home.' And here she writes that it will be late for him." Sarah looked through the messages, taking notes. "It's useful," she said. "They show that she knowingly dated Travis despite your family. Is there something directly with him?" "Yes," Jacob said, pulling out another sheet. "I found her correspondence with Travis. It's short, but then he writes, 'Come tomorrow, it will be fun.' And she answers, 'Definitely.' This was a week before I received those photos." Sarah nodded, her eyes narrowing. "This proves their connection," she said, "and it coincides with Lisa's testimony. She has already given a written statement that she saw Emily with Travis at parties where there may have been illegal substances." Jacob clenched his fists. "I still don't believe she got involved in this," he said. "She always hated people like Travis." "How could she?" Sarah looked at him with sympathy. "Sometimes people change under pressure," she said, "or they're looking for something they think they're missing. But it's not your fault, Jacob. We'll use this to protect Lily." What else do we have? He asked. You mentioned Emily's colleagues. Sarah opened another folder. We received statements from two of her colleagues from the school, she said. Anna, a teacher, and Mark, a head teacher. Anna said Emily started missing classes in November. She came to work absent-minded, sometimes late. Mark confirmed she was fired in March because parents of students complained about her behavior. One time she yelled at the child, which was out of character. Jacob shook his head. She loved her job, he said. I don't understand how she got to this point. There's one more thing, Sarah said, pulling out a sheet. We found footage from a camera in the school corridor. Emily is arguing with a colleague, screaming, waving her arms. This was a week before I was fired. I will show this in court. This demonstrates her instability. Where did you get the recording? Jacob asked. The school provided it upon request, Sarah said. They are obliged to store such videos. This is not direct evidence, but it adds weight to our arguments. Jacob nodded, feeling a mixture of relief and pain. This is all, he asked. Is this enough? Almost, said Sarah. We have one more. Emily's parents, John and Mary, gave written statements. They said Emily had become distant from them, stopped answering their calls, and shocked them with statements about Travis. They support you and are ready to speak in court. They're great, Jacob said. They love Lily, but they are hurt because of Emily. I understand, Sarah said. Their words mean a lot. The judge will see that even her family thinks you're the best caregiver. Plus your behavior, daycare, support group, vacation. You're doing everything right. Jacob looked at her. What about Emily? He asked. Is she still trying to fight? Sarah sighed. Her lawyer filed a motion for joint custody, she said. They claim that she is looking for a job and wants to improve. But her statement about Travis and outbursts in court undermine her position. The judge already doubts her. She called yesterday, Jacob said. Asked about Lily, but didn't say where she was or what she was doing. I wrote it down as you asked. Okay, said Sarah. Send me the recording. If she avoids answering, that helps us too. The next meeting is in 3 days. We will present all this and ask for temporary full custody for you. Thank you, Sarah, Jacob said. I just want Lily to be with me. We're close, Sarah said. Keep being the father you are. The court can see that. Jacob returned home, where Mary was playing with Lily. He told her about his meeting with Sarah. That's good news, Mary said, bouncing Lily on her lap. I can't believe Emily is acting like this. We called her, but she hardly spoke. He just repeats that he wants to see Lily. She doesn't deserve this, Jacob said. Not after I supported Travis. I don't trust her. Mary nodded, her eyes sad. I know, she said, but she is my daughter. I hope she comes to her senses. But Lily should be with you. Thank you, Jacob said. Your support means a lot. That evening, he went to the community center to attend a support group for single fathers. He needed to talk it out. Tom, the host, greeted him and Jacob explained the new evidence. We found Emily's correspondence with this guy, he said, and recordings of her screaming at work. She was fired because she was not herself. I hope the court will take this into account. Ryan, the father of a 4-year-old son, nodded. It's strong, he said. My ex also behaved strangely, but I didn't have such evidence. You're in a good position, Jacob. I'm still scared, Jacob said. What if the judge decides to give her a chance? She can take Lily. Paul, the older man, shook his head. Judges don't like to take risks with children, he said. If she's involved with a criminal and she loses her job, they won't give her Lily. You have shown that you are reliable. Tom added. Focus on Lily, he said. You do everything for her. This is the main thing. Jacob nodded, feeling supported. He returned home and wrote down in a notebook everything Sarah asked, the dates of Emily's calls, her evasive answers. He also sent Sarah a recording of the last conversation, where Emily said, I want to see Lily, but I can't come now. The next day, he met with Lisa, Emily's friend, in a cafe to clarify the details of her testimony. Are you sure you're ready to speak in court? Jacob asked as he sat over his coffee. This is important, Lisa. Yes, said Lisa, nervously fiddling with her napkin. I feel guilty for introducing Emily to Travis. I want to help. I'll tell you what I saw, how she changed, how she missed work, how she hung out with him. Thank you, Jacob said. This could save Lily. Lisa looked at him. I didn't think she'd go this far, she said. She was so right. I don't know what happened to her. Me too, Jacob said, but I can't risk it. Lily is my priority. The meeting on May 8th was tense. Judge Harris heard new evidence. Sarah presented Emily's correspondence, statements from colleagues, and camera footage. Emily sat silently, but her face was red. When her lawyer tried to object, she interrupted. This is unfair, she shouted. You are all against me. I love Lily. The judge tapped her gavel. Mrs. Wilson, calm down, she said. One more flash, and I'll take you out. Emily sat up, trembling. Jacob looked at her and saw that she was losing control. The judge turned to him. Mr. Wilson, she said, are you still caring for Lily? Yes, Your Honor, Jacob said. She goes to kindergarten. I take her to the doctor. I play with her. I do everything to make her happy. The judge nodded. I see, she said. We will continue in a week. I want to look at all the evidence. Ramiley's parents, John and Mary Clark, remained an important part of Lily's life. They took her regularly for weekends and supported Jacob, but their pain over their daughter's behavior was obvious. Today, May 15th, they invited Jacob to their home to talk, and he felt that the conversation would be difficult. Jacob gathered Lily up, putting her bottle and toys in a bag, and drove to the Clark's house, which was in the next town 20 minutes away. Lily sat in her car seat, humming something unintelligible, and Jacob smiled as he looked at her in the rearview mirror. We'll see your grandparents soon, baby, he said. They love you. Lily clapped her hands, and Jacob felt warm, but the anxiety did not go away. He didn't know what to expect from his conversation with John and Mary. They had always been on his side, but he was afraid that they would ask for a second chance for Emily. The Clark's house was cozy, with a white fence and flower beds full of tulips. Mary opened the door, smiling at Lily, but her eyes were tired. Jacob, Lily, come in, she said, hugging her granddaughter. How's my girl? Lily held out her hands and Mary took hers, kissing her on the cheek. John walked out of the living room, his face serious. Hi, Jacob, he said, shaking her hand. Glad to see you. Sitting down, I made coffee. Thank you, Jacob said, sitting down on the sofa. Lily crawled along the carpet where Mary had laid out her toys. How are you? Mary sighed as she sat down next to John. Honestly, she said, not really. We still can't believe Emily is acting like this. That statement in the paper, we don't know what's wrong with her. Jacob nodded, feeling the familiar pain return. Me too, he said. I thought I knew her. But she chose Travis even after he was locked up. I don't understand. John shook his head, holding his coffee mug. We raised her wrong, he said. She was always smart and responsible. We taught her to stay away from people like that Travis guy. Prohibited substances, criminal records. This is not our Emily. We tried to talk to her, Mary added, her voice trembling. They called and wrote. She answers briefly, saying that she is busy. Yesterday I left a message, begging her to come, but she didn't call back. I don't know what to do. Jacob looked at Lily, who was trying to fit a block into a toy house. I'm sorry you have to go through this, he said. I know how much you love Emily, but I have to think about Lily. I can't risk it. Mary nodded, wiping away a tear. We understand, she said. You're a good father, Jacob. Lily is happy with you. We see how you take care of her. Kindergarten, toys, all these walks. You're doing everything right. Thank you, Jacob said, but I feel guilty. I didn't want it to end like this. I wanted Lily to have a full-fledged family. John put the mug on the table. It's not your fault, he said. Emily made a choice. We support you in court. We told Sarah that we were ready to testify. Lily should be with you, especially after Emily got involved with this man. Jacob nodded, but noticed how Mary looked at John as if she wanted to say something. She inhaled and turned to Jacob. Jacob, she said quietly, we know you're right to defend Lily, but we want to ask you something. Don't take away all of Emily's rights. She is our daughter, and we believe that she can change. Maybe if she loses Lily, it will be a boost for her. Jacob froze, feeling pity and duty fighting inside him. Mary, he said, trying to speak calmly, I understand how you feel, but she said she would wait for Travis. He's in jail for controlled substances and weapons charges. If she's with him, I can't trust her with Lily. Mary began to cry, covering her mouth with her hand. I know, she said. I don't want to lose her completely. She is my daughter. I hope she comes back to us. John put his hand on Mary's shoulder. We don't make excuses for her, Jacob, he said. She did a terrible thing. But Mary is right. If Emily loses everything, she might break. We are not asking for custody. Just give her a chance to see Lily if she proves she's okay. Jacob looked at Lily, who was now sitting on Mary's lap, fiddling with her necklace. He felt pity for Emily struggling with his resolve. I don't want to be cruel, he said, but Lily is my priority. If Emily shows that she's stable and that she broke up with Travis, I'll think about it. But now I can't risk it. She doesn't even come to Lily. Mary nodded, wiping away her tears. We understand, she said. You do what you have to do. We just hope she comes to her senses. I hope so too, Jacob said. But I can't wait. The trial is coming soon, and I need to make sure Lily is safe. John stood up and walked over to Jacob, placing his hand on his shoulder. You are a good person, he said. We know that you love Lily. We will be in court. We will say everything that needs to be said. But thanks for listening to us. Thank you, Jacob said. You do a lot for Lily. I don't want her to lose you. Mary smiled through her tears. She won't lose, she said. We will always be here, for her and for you. Jacob spent another hour with them, letting Lily play with her grandparents. As he prepared to leave, Mary hugged him. Hold on, she said. You are stronger than you think. Jacob nodded and drove away, feeling the weight of the conversation. He wanted to feel sorry for Emily, but the image of her with Travis, her indifference to Lily, did not allow him to do this. He had to protect his daughter, even if it meant going against his family. Returning home, he called Sarah to tell her about the meeting. Emily's parents support me, he said, but they ask not to deprive Emily of her rights completely. They hope she will change. That's understandable, said Sarah. They are her parents. But their testimony will still help us. They confirm that Emily is unstable. How do you feel? I'm torn, Jacob said. I don't want to be a monster, but Lily is more important. I can't trust Emily after everything. You're not a monster, Sarah said. You are a father who protects a child. The judge sees this. We presented correspondence, testimony, and recordings. The next meeting is in 3 days, and I'm confident that we are close to temporary custody. Thank you, Sarah, Jacob said. I just want this to end. Soon, Sarah said. Keep taking care of Lily. You're doing the right thing. Jacob hung up and went to a support group meeting for single fathers. He talked about his conversation with Emily's parents. They want me to give her a chance, he said, but I can't. Not after she chose Travis. Ryan, the father of a 4-year-old son, nodded. It's hard, he said. My parents also defended my ex. But you have to think about Lily. If Emily isn't okay, you can't risk it. Tom, the presenter, added. You do what you have to do, he said. Pity is normal, but don't let it overshadow your duty. Lily depends on you. Jacob returned home feeling that their words had strengthened his resolve. Judge Elizabeth Harris was due to make a custody decision today, May 22nd, over Lily, his 1-year-old, 6-month-old daughter. 3 months of struggle, evidence, and hearings led to this moment. Jacob hoped that Lily would stay with him, but the fear that Emily, his wife, would be able to convince the court did not go away. Emily sat across the room with her lawyer, David Klein. Her face was pale and her eyes were swollen. She avoided Jacob's gaze, but he noticed her nervously fiddling with the hem of her dress. The last hearings were difficult. Emily's correspondence with Travis Crow, a drug dealer, her dismissal from her job, outbursts of anger, and a public statement that she would wait for Travis, who was sentenced to 5 years, undermined her position. Jacob, on the other hand, had shown himself to be a stable father who cared for Lily, and Sarah was confident that the court was leaning in their favor. The courtroom was silent as Judge Harris entered and sat down at the table. She adjusted her glasses and looked at the papers. "We are here to make a decision on the custody of Lily Wilson," she said, her voice level. "I reviewed all the evidence, witness statements, and behavior of the parties. My decision is based on the best interests of the child." Jacob held his breath as he felt Sarah lightly squeeze his hand. Emily sat up straight, but her hands were shaking. "Mr. Wilson," the judge continued, looking at Jacob, "you have shown yourself to be a responsible and caring father. You've taken time off to be with Lily, enrolled her in daycare, attended a support group, and provided a stable environment. The testimony of Mrs. Wilson's caregivers, colleagues, and parents confirms that you put Lily's interests first." Jacob nodded, feeling the tension ease slightly. Sarah whispered, "This is good. Listen further." The judge turned to Emily. "Mrs. Wilson," she said, "you have expressed your desire to be a part of Lily's life, but your behavior is causing concern. Your relationship with a man convicted of trafficking in controlled substances and illegal possession of weapons, your outbursts in court, quitting your job, and minimal contact with Lily in recent months show that you are not ready to be the primary caregiver." Emily lowered her head, and Jacob noticed her lawyer put his hand on her shoulder. "Based on this," the judge said, "I award full custody to Mr. Jacob Wilson." Mrs. Emily Wilson receives supervised visits once a week for 2 hours at the Family Meeting Center. These visits may be reviewed after 6 months if Mrs. Wilson proves stable. The divorce case will be considered separately. The judge tapped her gavel, and the room froze. Jacob felt a wave of relief wash over him. Lily will stay with him. He turned to Sarah, who smiled. "We did it," she said quietly. "Lily is safe." Emily stood up, her face wet with tears. She looked at Jacob, but said nothing and quickly walked out of the courtroom, followed by her lawyer. Jacob felt a pang of pain. He didn't want Emily to suffer, but his daughter was more important. Sarah led him out into the corridor. "You did great," she said, shaking his hand. The judge clearly saw who cares about Lily. Limited visits are a chance for Emily, but only if she changes. "Thank you, Sarah," Jacob said, his voice shaking. "I didn't know if it would work." "You saved us." "You saved yourself," Sarah said. "You showed what kind of father you are. Now go home to Lily. She's waiting for you." Jacob nodded and drove home, where Mary, Emily's mother, was looking after Lily. He walked into the living room and saw Lily playing with blocks. Mary looked up. "Well?" she asked, her voice filled with worry. "I got full custody," Jacob said, sitting down next to Lily. Emily was given supervised visits, once a week. Mary covered her face with her hands, but then hugged him. "Thank God," she said. "Lily will be with you. You did your best." "And Emily?" Jacob asked. "Have you talked to her?" Mary shook her head. "She doesn't answer," she said. "After what she said about Travis, we tried to call, but she turned off the phone. I don't know what's wrong with her." Jacob looked at Lily, who handed him the cube. "I'm sorry, Mary," he said. "I didn't want it to happen like this. But I had to protect Lily." "I know," Mary said, wiping away tears. "You're right, but she's my daughter. I hope these visits will help her understand what she's missing." Jacob nodded, but deep down he had doubts. The Emily he knew was gone, and he mourned her as if she were someone he had lost. That evening, he went to the community center to attend a support group for single fathers. He needed to share. Tom, the host, welcomed him, and Jacob explained the court's decision. "I got full custody," he said, looking at the men around the table. "Lily's with me." Emily's been given supervised visits. I'm glad, but I'm sad. She wasn't like this before. Ryan, the father of a 4-year-old son, nodded. I understand, he said. When my ex lost in court, I felt the same way. You won, but it's not a holiday. You wished things were different. Yes, Jacob said. I wanted Lily to have a mother, but not like this one. Paul, the older man, added, You did what you had to do, he said. Lily is safe, and that's the main thing. The sadness will pass. Focus on your daughter. Tom looked at Jacob. You've been through hell, he said. But you did it. Lily is lucky to have you. How do you feel? I don't know, Jacob said. I'm happy that Lily is with me, but I feel bad for Emily. She lost everything, and I don't know if she will come back. It's not your burden, said Tom. You can't save her. But you saved Lily. This is your victory. Jacob nodded, feeling their words help. He returned home and called Mike, his friend, to share the news. Dude, you did it, Mike said, his voice full of joy. Full custody. I knew you would win. Thank you, Jacob said. But it's weird. I'm happy, but I'm sad. Emily, she's not who she used to be. I understand, Mike said. But you can't fix it. Focus on Lily. She is your world. Yes, Jacob said. You are right. He hung up and went to see Lily, who was sleeping in her crib. Her blonde curls were scattered across the pillow, and Jacob looked at her, feeling joy for her safetyness mixed with pain for Emily. He had won, but it was a bitter victory. The Emily he loved was gone, and he grieved for her, but he knew he had done the right thing for his daughter. The next day, he met with Mary and John to tell them about the decision. They sat in their living room, and Lily played on the carpet. It's the best thing that could happen, John said, shaking his head. Lily is safe. Thank you, Jacob. But Emily, Mary said, her voice trembling. I hope these visits will help her. Maybe she'll see Lily and realize what she's missing. I hope so too, Jacob said. Jacob Wilson stood in the living room of his new home, unpacking boxes. Lily, his 1-year-old, 7-month-old daughter, crawled across the carpet, dragging a stuffed rabbit behind her. Full custody, won in late May after a lengthy trial, had given Jacob relief, but the pain of being betrayed by his ex-wife, Emily, still lingered in his chest. He decided to move to leave his old house and memories behind, and chose a small 2-story house in a quiet area with a park nearby. It was a new beginning for him and Lily. Jacob arranged Lily's room with special attention. He painted the walls light pink, hung star-patterned curtains, and put together a white crib. There were books and toys on the shelf, and above the bed there was a photo of Lily laughing on the carousel. Jacob looked at his daughter, who was trying to open a dresser drawer, and smiled. Wrong way, baby, he said, picking her up. Let's put your cubes on the shelf. Lily laughed, clapping her hands. Jacob set her down on the carpet and began arranging the toys. He felt that this house would be their refuge, a place where Lily would grow up happy. The move took a week, and the neighbors were friendly. Mrs. Carter, an elderly woman from the house across the street, brought a plate of cookies and offered to help. Welcome, Jacob, she said, standing on the threshold with Lily in her arms. Such a sweet girl. If you need to sit with her, call her. Thank you, Mrs. Carter, Jacob said, taking the cookie. We're still getting settled in, but I appreciate it. We have a good community here, she said. Families gather in the park on Saturdays. Come with Lily, there are a lot of children there. Definitely, Jacob said. Lily loves to play. He decided to become part of the local community so that Lily would grow up with friends and he could take his mind off the past. On his first Saturday, he took Lily to the park, where a family picnic was taking place. Kids ran around, adults chatted, and tables were stocked with lemonade and hot dogs. Jacob met several families, including Tim, a single father with a 3-year-old son. Are you new? Tim asked, holding out his hand. I'm Tim. This is my son, Owen. Jacob, he said, shaking hands. And this is Lily. We just moved in. Cool, Tim said. I've been raising Owen myself for 2 years. If you need advice, please contact us. We single dads need to stick together. Thank you, Jacob said. I already go to a support group. Helps. Oh, I know this group, Tim said. I went there when I was getting divorced. Nice guys. Come to our gatherings in the park. We sometimes get together and share experiences. Sounds great, Jacob said. I will think. He began helping out in the community, helping organize picnics and children's events. Tim suggested he lead a small group for single dads at the park, and Jacob agreed. He shared his experiences, talking about the trial and how he was coping with Lily. It gave him a sense of purpose and helped others. In mid-June, Sarah Miller, Jacob's lawyer, called and invited him and Lily to a picnic in the park with her son, 10-year-old Dan. Jacob agreed, feeling grateful for her support during the trial. Come on Sunday, Sarah said on the phone. It will be fun. Dan wants to meet Lily. Thank you, Sarah, Jacob said. We will. Lily loves parks. Great, she said. And Jacob, you're doing a good job. I'm proud of you. He smiled, feeling the warmth. I couldn't have done it without you, he said. Thank you for everything. On Sunday, Jacob took Lily and went to the park. Sarah was waiting at the food table with Dan, a thin boy with freckles, standing next to her. Lily immediately reached for the bright ball Dan was holding. Hi, Jacob, Sarah said, hugging him. Lily has become so big. Hi, Jacob said, setting Lily down on the grass. Yes, she is growing quickly. Is this Dan? Yeah, Dan said, smiling. Can I play with Lily? Of course, Jacob said. Just be careful, she loves to run. Dan took Lily's hand, and they walked to the swing. Jacob sat down with Sarah at the table, where there were sandwiches and lemonade. How are things in the new house? Sarah asked, pouring him a drink. Okay, Jacob said. Lily likes her room. I started helping out in the community, running a group for fathers. It's distracting. That's great, Sarah said. You found your place. How are you? After the trial? Jacob looked at Lily, who was laughing as Dan pushed her on the swing. Better, he said. I'm glad Lily is with me. But sometimes I think about Emily. I'm sad for her. Sarah nodded. It's normal, she said. You loved her, but you did the right thing by protecting Lily. She's happy with you. Thank you, Jacob said. You and Dan, you made this day special. I haven't smiled like that in a long time. Sarah smiled. We're glad, she said. Maybe we can do it again sometime. Definitely, Jacob said, feeling his hope rise. For the first time in months, he thought he could be happy again. A week later, in early July, Jacob received a letter delivered to his new address. The envelope was plain, with a return address to a rehabilitation center in Cincinnati. He recognized Emily's handwriting and felt his heart clench. Lily was asleep in her room, and Jacob sat down at the kitchen table, opening the letter. Jacob, it began, I've been in rehab for a month now. I know what I did, and I'm ashamed. I betrayed you and Lily, and there are no words to make it right. Travis was a mistake, like everything I did. I'm trying to be a better person, but I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. Please take care of Lily. I hope one day I can see her and be the mother she deserves. I'm sorry, Emily. Jacob reread the letter 3 times. He felt pity, but also anger for what she had done. He remembered her statement about Travis, her indifference to Lily, and decided that he was not ready to answer yet. Lily was his priority, and he couldn't risk it until he was sure Emily had changed. He put the letter in his drawer and called Sarah to tell her. She wrote from rehab, he said, asks for forgiveness. I don't know what to do. This is her first step, Sarah said, but you don't have to answer. Think about Lily. If Emily proves she's okay, you can reconsider. But now you're doing the right thing by focusing on your daughter. Thank you, Jacob said. I just want Lily to be happy. She's happy, Sarah said. You gave her a home, love, a future. Be proud of yourself. At the next support group meeting, Jacob talked about the letter. I don't know what to feel, he said. I want her to get better, but I can't trust her. Tom, the presenter, nodded. It's normal, he said. You don't have to forgive her now. Think about Lily and yourself. You are building a new life. Ryan, father of a 4-year-old son, added, My ex also wrote such letters, he said. I waited until she showed that she had changed. You're right to take your time. Jacob returned home feeling that their words had helped. He decided to focus on Lily and their new home. On Saturday, he took her to the park, where they played on the swings and ran on the grass. Lily squealed with joy as he tossed her into the air. More, Dad, she shouted, laughing. Jacob caught it, feeling his heart fill with warmth. He looked at his daughter and realized that he had found the meaning of life. Emily was part of the past, and Lily was his present and future. He knew that there would still be difficulties ahead, but with Lily by his side, he was ready for them. In this park, under the bright sun, he felt that everything would be fine. Subscribe to our channel so that your love doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think click to the next one.